Have you ever felt that fire inside? That feeling of knowing you were meant for more, but something holds you back? Maybe you've had that dream of moving into a leadership role, but those voices of doubt creep in and say, why you? Why do you think you were meant for more? Well, I've had those doubts too. And today, I want to share with you a story that changed the way that I see potential. Not just mine, but yours too. It all started with a simple yet powerful question. Why not you? Today we're going to talk about how you stop doubting yourself and start owning your potential. How do you stop doubting yourself and start fulfilling your potential? Have you ever seen some really successful people, whether it's that CEO, that famous celebrity, whoever it may be, and wonder, how did they get there? I used to think that too. Let me tell you about a specific moment in my life that changed everything for me. It was back in high school. Final year, I was applying to different universities. It was career week. I was really excited. And I remember, as I was filling out the applications, the reason I wanted to go to university, secretly, it wasn't about going to university and, eventually getting this great education and going out into the real world and making money. It wasn't about any of that. For me, the dream was, I wanted to be the first one in my family to get into university. And not only did I want to be the first one to get into the university, but I wanted to be the first one to actually graduate. For me, that seemed like an almost impossible goal, but it was a goal that I set. But I remember the day I went to this teacher, very highly respected teacher at that. And I remember telling her that I was applying to all these universities and I was excited, I was enthusiastic, and all she did was look at me with this serious face, and then she smirked. She smirked, and she said to me, honestly, Louis, people like you don't go to university. And I said, what do you mean people like me don't go to university? She says, I've seen your marks, I've seen the way you are, you're not going to change. And I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit problematic back in high school, but I believed in myself. I believed, and I had a goal of achieving the impossible dream. But in that moment, she crushed it. All I remember her saying to me is, honestly, people like you don't go to university. My recommendation to you is, just go out, find a respectable factory job. You can start at the bottom, and one day, if you're lucky, maybe you become, a lead hand or a supervisor. That's a good, honest living for you. And I remember walking out of that room that day feeling absolutely crushed. In fact, I went home that night and I was talking to my father, and I didn't mention to him any of this conversation that I had with this teacher. Well, all I remember saying to my father is, you know what, I was starting to apply for different universities. I'm filling in the application, but I'll probably just rip it up. And he looked at me, and at first it was anger, but then it turned into disappointment. And he said to me, Why would you not at least apply? And if you don't get in, just keep trying. Keep doing what it takes to get in. You're an intelligent person. Why wouldn't you at least try? And I remember all I could hear those words, ringing in my mind of people like you. And my father kept telling me, keep doing it. And I remember we actually went on a vacation. We were in Florida. And I remember we were on vacation, and I took his advice. Yes, I sent out the applications. I applied to some different universities, and I even applied to, a local community college, not thinking anything of it. And I remember while we were in Florida all together, someone was checking our mail back home. And one day, the person checking our mail back home gave us a call and actually told my father over the phone, congratulations, your son didn't get into any of the universities, but he got into that one community college. And I remember my father was all excited, and And he looked at me and says, okay, that's great. You got into the community college. You know what? Why don't you do a year there, get your marks really high, and then you can apply for the universities down the road. And I said, you know, I don't think it's for me. And, you know, why am I wasting my time? Why am I even wasting my time going to this community college? And in my mind, when I thought about it, you know, I was looking at the community college situation, spending a whole year there, going through all that effort and energy, and then having to go to university. And I thought, it's just way too much work. It's a mountain I don't want to climb. But what I was really thinking about was what that teacher said to me. People like you. People like you. And my father, you know, he kept encouraging me. He said, no, just do it. Just try. At least try. If it doesn't work out, at least you tried. And I said, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do it. And all I remember at that point, my father looking at me. And he had never been disappointed in me up until that point, but I remember that moment very well. He looked at me very disappointed and he said, I thought more of you. I thought more of you. And he just walked away. And I remember that moment, I was crushed. And I thought to myself, what's his problem? I actually got angry with him. I thought, why is he pushing me to do something I don't want to do? But in my mind, what I was really thinking is, why me? People like me? I was remembering what that teacher said to me. People like you. People like you don't go to university. Even if you got into university, it's impossible. You will never graduate. That's all I could think about. Those words kept repeating. What was really repeating was this false belief. This individual had created a belief, and I held on to it. That was the problem. It wasn't that I lacked intelligence. It wasn't that I lacked ambition. All that potential was in me. But all I was hearing were the voices, those defeating voices from that teacher who told me, people like you. And I remember thinking to myself at that moment, as I heard my father's words, as I looked at his face in that moment and thought about how disappointed he was, I thought about, why not me? Why not me? Who is this teacher to tell me that I can't do something that I've always wanted to do? Who is this teacher to tell me that I can't achieve the impossible dream? To be the first one in my family to go to university and to actually graduate. Why not me? And that emotion was so overwhelming that my eyes started to swell up with emotion. And I remember, it was the next day, the sun actually came out. And I said to my father, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know what the results will be, but I'm going to apply. I'm going to go forward. I'm going to move forward. I got into this college. I'm going to do it. And that's how it starts. It starts with that first step. It starts with a decision. A decision that despite what other people think about you, you believe in yourself. It's that self-belief is where it starts. And every day, even when you don't think you're good enough, even when that doubt kicks in, having the courage to take that step and to take that next step and to just keep showing up. That's what it takes. Just show up, even if you don't think you can. Even if you showed up that day and you got knocked down, you failed, you made the mistakes. Keep showing up. Don't quit. And keep asking yourself the question, why not me? So how did it all go? I went to that community college. I showed up every day. I took the courses. I studied. I took it more serious than I had ever taken in my entire, academic career. Think about it. In the high school, my marks weren't good. I didn't take it seriously. And my marks, my results reflected my belief and my attitude and my actions. But when I got into college, I had a different belief system. I had a drive. I had an intensity that I was going to achieve this no matter what. And if I failed, I was going to keep showing up and keep moving forward. And guess what? after 1 year in that college, I ended up getting the highest marks that I had ever achieved in my entire academic career. My marks were so high that the following year, when I had applied to university, I got in. I got in. That same teacher who said to me, people like you don't go to university. Guess what? I got in because even though she didn't believe in me, I believed in me. And most importantly, I had other people believing in me. My father at that moment believed in me. And because of that, I believed in me. And I asked myself the question, why not me? And I got into university. And I applied myself. And I kept showing up. And was it hard? Were there times I wanted to quit? Were there times I wanted to walk away? Absolutely. Those times came often. But I kept showing up. That's what courage is about. Courage is about showing up even when you're scared. And I was scared. Taking those exams, walking into those lecture halls. I was scared. But I kept showing up. I didn't stop. Won't stop. Never gonna stop. And I kept asking myself the question, why not me? Why can't I be successful? Why can't I be a business professional? Why can't I own my own home one day? Why can't I have money? Why not me? And after 5 years, going to university every single day, guess what? I graduated. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not good enough. Don't let anyone tell you that that dream isn't for you. That people like you won't achieve the impossible dream. The impossible dream is possible if it starts with a belief in you. You gotta believe in you when no one else does. And to all the people out there who are believing in someone and supporting them in any way that they can, keep doing what you're doing. And I'll tell you something. My father believing in me, not only did it add to me, but it multiplied. Because it created a mindset in me where every person moving forward, whether it be in school, but especially in my professional career as a leader, leading people over decades, I ended up multiplying. How did I do that? Because I gave back to them. I helped them to believe in themselves. I supported them. I mentored them. I coached them. And I have produced so many successful people over the years. People who have gone on to be leaders themselves. And they have multiplied. And it all starts with a question. Why not me? And my question to you today, very honestly, I don't care. Maybe you didn't have a father like I had, and that's fine. Maybe you don't even have parents. Maybe you have no one supporting you. Maybe all you have around you are these negative people who are dragging you down. My question to you is, why not you? Why not you? If no one else believes in you, then listen to me right now. You may not know me, but I'm saying this to you right now from the heart. I believe in you. I believe in you. So take that first step. Set a goal. And it all starts with a decision. Make that decision and move forward. Have the courage, even when you're scared. Courage is having that fear and doing it anyways. Do it. Do it. Ask yourself the question, why not me? You deserve it.
Believe in yourself.